Okay, so we're going to look at some examples of when to use preterite and imperfect in an actual context. So the question, were you born in Lima, will require either preterite or imperfect. The answer, no, I was born in Cusco, but when I was 15, my family and I came to Bogota. Being 15 and coming to Bogota, those are two separate verb usages. So if we look at the answer, the question is, ¿Naciste en Lima? And the answer is, no, yo nací en Cusco, pero cuando tenía 15 años, mi familia y yo vinimos a Bogotá. So if you look at the question is in the preterite because we see that all familiar preterite ending of STE for a to form. So were you born in Lima is preterite because being born is one event in time, right? Yo nací, same thing. I'm saying I was born. So we're going to continue our use of preterite. Pero cuando tenía 15 años, when I was 15, is in the imperfect, right? Because your age in the past is considered background information. You were 15 for an ongoing period of time in which lots of other events happened, right? So one of those events that happened when I was 15 was that my family came to Bogotá. So mi familia y yo vinimos is in the preterite because coming to Bogotá is something that happens at one moment in time. When I lived in Cusco, my siblings and I always went everywhere by bike. So living in Cusco is background information. Going places is a repetitive thing, ongoing over lots of time. So for both of these, we should use, let the suspense build for a moment, imperfect. So cuando vivía en Cusco, mis hermanos y yo siempre íbamos a todas partes en bicicleta. Living in Cusco, like I said, is background, so we know that we want the imperfect for that. My siblings and I going everywhere on a bike is something that was repetitive or habitual over a long period of time, so also imperfect. Last month I went to climb a mountain with some of my friends, so is that going to be preterite or imperfect? El mes pasado yo blank a escalar una montaña con unas amigas, so I'll give you a moment to figure out if you think that should be preterite or imperfect. And if you said fui, you were correct. So el mes pasado yo fui a escalar una montaña con unas amigas. Last month I went to climb a mountain with some friends. That's an event. So last month is me giving you the approximate time frame, and then going to climb the mountain is an event that happened at a moment in time. So how old were you when you started playing volleyball? We have age for the first one. How many years did you have? And then we have when you started to play volleyball. Starting to do something is an event, right? And then age, of course, is background information. So again, I'll give you a moment to figure out what goes in those blanks. ¿Cuántos años tenías cuando empezaste a jugar al voleibol? Just like always, we're using the imperfect for age. So how many years did you have or how old were you when you started to play volleyball? Starting is at a moment in time, so we use the preterite. So these are just a few examples of times where you could use preterite and imperfect in the same sentence or in the same sort of series of sentences. It's not just you're always going to use one or always going to use the other. There's a lot of times where they're really going to mix.